Come back to our class. It has been a paper written today, and we were looking at some of the proposed answers. If it was me writing this paper, what would I have written on this paper? Basically, if I was a student like you, I hope these are some of the answers I would have written. So it means that there are some answers I might not talk about, and this must not make you depressed. The reason why I usually do, or we usually do these memorandums before maybe the official ones, or before you write paper 2, so that you know exactly how much you need to put in, so that you are able to focus for paper 2. So you guys must always know that focusing for paper 2, remember, let me just give you a small hint about this, that remember, this paper, it contains 50% of 50%, 50%, and the paper 2 is also 50%. So basically, to make 100%. So from term 1 is also 50%. From term 1 until term 3, the project you did, it's also 100%. Or basically, from term 1 to term 3, that is 50%. And then paper 1 and paper 2, they are converted into 50%. So that when you add, you form 100%, and then they convert it back to 25%. So you guys, you have high chances, even if you have been failing, for you to improve. For you to what? To improve your mark. So let us focus, see what we have done for paper 1, and then we can focus more how much do you need for paper 2. Let's go without wasting time. I see a lot of people, they're talking about a lot of comments. I see, guys, don't forget this is live. If you have any challenge about maybe my answer and stuff, we can talk. You can send me the comment. I see the comments. I will talk about them. You know, sometimes when I'm running at a very high speed, yes, sometimes I end up forgetting this. All right, let's start. Which of the following mechanism we are talking about, mechanical defense mechanism that plant use? When you look at mechanical, it means it must be physical. It must be what? It must be physical. Guys, don't be worried. Nah, you will pass. Production of sweat. When you talk about production of sweat, is it mechanical? Not really. Did I say sweat? Sweet nectar? Not really. Secretion of chemicals, is it mechanical? No, that's not. So thorns are mechanical. They are physical. So it looks to be much more correct. Increase the secretion of abscisic acid, and then leaves, causing leaves and fruits to fall off. How is that protecting the plant from these other organisms? So the most correct answer looks to be C. So C, you get 2 marks. The following statement describes parts of human sperms. You know sperm? We talked about it. Many mitochondria that provide energy for movement. So they're saying that they describe some of the parts of the human. Okay, many mitochondria, yes, provide energy for movement. Yeah, it looks to be correct. The tail that moves in wipe-like motion, yes, it looks to be correct. A chromosome contain enzymes to digest the membrane, digest the gel-like membrane of the ovum, looks to be correct. The nucleus contain 23 chromosomes. All of them are correct. Okay. Which combination of statement are structure? When you see structure, adaptation that ensure sperm can move towards the ovum. So they're saying structure adaptation. So if you look at, do you see, when you look at it, do you see them? We see that this and this, not really. So whenever there is 3 and 4 is out, 3 and 4, this is out, this is out, this is out. So the most correct answer looks to be B. What is B? It is 1 and 2. Let's look at it. Mitochondria, energy, correct. Tail, movement, correct. So B looks to be the most correct answer. Yes, I see a lot of people talking. Yes. Which one of the following event takes place during oogenesis? Remember, oogenesis is the production of a haploid gamete when it comes to females. So 3 daughter cells are from meiosis will degenerate. Remember, you start with 1, you form 2, it undergoes meiosis 2, undergoes meiosis 2. But now this becomes a polar body, so it becomes small, so it degenerates. Even this one degenerates. Also this one degenerates. Only this one will survive and form a mature ovum. So it means that the 3 of them, they degenerate, only one form an ovum. 3 daughter cells will degenerate, looks to be correct. Diploid epithelium cell lining, okay, seminiferous tubes to go in seminiferous tubes. This is not a male. Saying that 4 daughter cells survive, no. 1 daughter cell will mature to form a sperm. It will mature, yes, but doesn't form a sperm. So A looks to be the most correct answer. If you have any challenge, guys, if you have any challenge, you let me know from the comment section, and I see am I giving a wrong answer, or did I explain the answer correct? Yeah. They are saying that they are saying that we continue 1 point, where is it? Okay, the diagram below shows the internal structure of the human brain. Okay, human brain. Right. Which one of the following is not a function of S? Which one of the following is not a function of S? Okay, it's not a function of S. Remember, S is what is S? S is the cerebrum. Okay, if S is cerebrum, so we are saying which one of the following is not a function? Is not a function. So it control. Remember, it has 3 functions: control voluntary muscle movement, controls, not coordinate. So correct. Regulates. Doesn't regulate heartbeat, because heartbeat is involuntary action, and then this cerebrum is for voluntary actions. So this looks to be not correct. They are saying that interprets sensation. Interprets, basically it receives and interprets all the sensation, looks to be correct. They are saying that control higher thought process, all this be correct. So but the question is saying not. So the one which is correct, they become wrong, and the one which is wrong becomes correct. So the answer looks to be B. So B becomes the most correct answer. So I was saying that this looks to be correct as the function of this. You understand? But the question is saying not. So if they are saying not, so it means B looks to be the most correct answer. Which label indicates the corpus callosum? Remember, corpus callosum connects the left and right hemisphere together, and then also allows communication between the 2 hemispheres. So it looks to be R. R looks to be the corpus callosum. Where's R? R. So A looks to be the most correct answer. Hey guys, I see you guys on the chat that yes, you are getting the answers correct. Congratulations for that effort, and that makes me to be happy. We go to the next question. 1.1.6. When we say 1.1.6, what are they talking about here? They're saying the person has a tree in his garden. They're saying that it's as shown in diagram 1. Okay, has this tree, correct. He wants the tree to grow to look like the neighbor. The neighbor, meaning that the neighbor, you see where people are starting to resemble the neighbors. Yeah. All right, we continue. Why neighbor? Okay, cool. It's a question. How should the tree in diagram 1 be treated to achieve his goal? All right. So remember that to bring about a lot of branches, what you need to do is, let me check here and see if there is, he wants to grow, okay, yeah, for a lot of branches. So what do I need to do is, for the tree to grow straight up, it means that the apex is working properly. You understand? You did not cut any tip. It means that there is apical dominancy. So when you bring apical dominancy, then it means that when the tip is still alive, it means that the branches are not going to what? To be grown. It's like when you are on the highway, yes, and then you find a lot of traffic here. They have blocked you. What do? You have some sub channels here. What do? You just have to take the branches. So it's the same story. It's supposed to grow straight up, and then now I don't want it to just grow straight up because the neighbor's plant, it has a lot of branches. So what I do, I cut the top of the plant, meaning that the tip of the plant, so that now it starts to develop the branches and then to look like the what? The neighbor. All right, so we are saying treat the plant with auxins to elongate cells. Not really. Provide the stem with a unilateral light. Coming from which direction? Because the branches are everywhere. They are saying that add abscisic acid to the soil to promote growth. Promote which part of which is going to grow. Cut the main stem to remove the apical dominance. So the moment you remove the apical dominance, is going to bring the branches. So that becomes the most correct answer. D becomes the most correct answer. Hey, what do you say, guys, from the chat? I want to see what are you saying. Ish, I was coming correct. All right. Nkuna, I see you guys. All right, the person belongs to climb the top. A person begins to climb to the top of Mountain Everest. Okay, which of the following changes will most likely to occur? Most likely. Others might occur, but most likely to occur as the body starts to, the person's body as they start to climb. As you climb, oxygen in the blood increases. How? No, unless you have been there, whereby you have made your body to have a lot of hemoglobin, because when you are in high areas, but still the level of oxygen, they go down, they deplete. So this one goes out. They're saying that carbon dioxide in the blood increase, causing the rate and depth of breathing to increase. Yeah, it looks to be correct, because we don't, as you are going up, you are active, né? So there is too much respiration. This respiration is going to produce a lot of carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide, we need to remove it from the body. Therefore, the rate of the breathing is going to increase, and the depth of the breathing is going to increase. The reason why the rate increases, so that you remove this carbon dioxide at a very fast rate. All right. Oxygen in the blood decreases, causing the rate and depth of the oxygen, yes, decreases, causing the rate and depth of breathing to decrease. That's wrong. Carbon dioxide in the blood decreases. Nope, because it has to increase due to the results of that. Decreases, causing the rate and depth of breathing. So B looks to be the most correct answer in this regard. Thank you so much, guys. Yup. Let's go to 1.1.8. They are saying that the graph below shows the growth rate in boys and girls from birth until late teens. All right, so we see that they come like this. What is this? This is growth rate per kg per year, and then this is the age. Okay, these are the boys, these are the girls. Which one of the following statement is correct? Conclusion from the graph: boys are always higher than always. This word always. The boys, they're higher. You see them? They're higher. But not always. There is this part, not always. And also there is this part here, not always. So I will say nope. So that one goes out. Boys stop growing at a young age. Boys, no, so that one also goes out. Girls have a higher growth rate than boys between the age of 4 and 6. Let's find out. Let me clean up here, and then I find out if it is correct. Between the age of 4 and 6, 4 and 6, they're saying girls have a higher, girls are here. Not really, the boys, they have a higher. So automatically, it looks to be D. Girls have a higher growth rate than boys at the age of 10 and 13. We go to 10. It's the one which I highlighted. 10 is here, and then 13 around here. So the answer looks to be the most correct answer. So that's it. So D looks to be the most correct answer. Hey guys, who got 16 out of 16? Let me see in the comment section. And those people who are watching this afterwards, would you have got 16 out of 16 if you are the one sitting this paper? Someone is saying it's hot. Nguna, what is hot, Baba? By the way, are you a baba or are you a mama? Anyway, they are saying, let's look at the terminologies which are given in this. They brought you just a small portion of terminologies. It means that they brought too much of other content than this. Okay, anyway, let's look at chemical substances that cause communication between and the end of one neuron and the start of the another. Chemical substances. If it was me, I would have said, because we call these ones neurotransmitters. Yes, these are transmitters, chemicals which are supposed to be in the what? At the synapse. Yes. Yeah. We call it, let me show you. Let me just do like this, and then the synapse is like this, the junction. So the neurotransmitters are here. The neurotransmitters are here. They are found in these vesicles. We call them vesicles. I don't want to explain the concept here, but these are receptors. So these neurotransmitters, they come here, they fuse with this membrane, they are being released. So the receptors are being, these receptors, they are being charged. So one side becomes positive, one side becomes negative, and then they are being what? They are being, because positive and negative, they attract. So the impulse, because it is an electrical message, it shifts. So it shifts from one point to another, and then the impulse continues. That's why we say that the impulse, the synapse allows impulse to move in one direction. You understand? But the actual name of these neurotransmitters, we call them acetylcholine. That's the actual name. I don't know. It will depend on the memorandum they have given you. Yes, maybe they might use a different name in that case. But to my knowledge, it is called neurotransmitters, and the actual name of those neurotransmitters, they are called acetylcholine. Yes, we know that we have some calcium ions. Calcium ions. There are a lot. It's calcium ions which makes these neurotransmitters to fuse with this membrane. So I don't want to explain too much because this is university level, but we call them neurotransmitters. All right. We go to a hormone that stimulates the production of milk. Obviously, girls, you don't know this thing. We call it prolactin. They are saying that the bone structure that encloses and protects the brain. So we say that we call it what? Cranium. Then they're saying that fluid that protects the human embryo against mechanical injury, we call it amnion. The phenomena where the increase in the secretion of one hormone will inhibit. If one hormone increases, then the other one will be inhibited. Like, for example, increase the production of progesterone, yes, will inhibit the production of FSH. So how do we call that? We call it a negative feedback mechanism. Yes, I see people are getting specifically Butelezi. I see you are getting correct answers. Thank you so much. Do you think a skull? Someone said a skull. They're saying a bone structure that encloses and protect the brain. Remember, skull also has the teeth. So does the teeth protect the brain? No, it's only the cranium. I don't know. It will depend on the marking guideline. But the most correct answer, if it was me writing this paper, I would have said cranium, and cranium becomes the most correct answer. Someone wrote cranium, but I almost wrote meninges. Meninges are membranes, guys. All right, let's go to the next question and then find out what are they saying. They are saying that the site where fertilization takes place. Where does fertilization takes place? It occurs in the fallopian tube. So it is A only. Remember the word only. They're saying a condition where which results in the lens becoming cloudy. We say it is called cataracts. So it's B only. Then they're saying that pupillary mechanism and response when the stimulus is what? Is bright. So remember, in bright we don't mix things up. R with the R, C with the C. So they're saying that ciliary muscles, ciliary muscles contract. Ciliary muscles? No, ciliary muscles are found. Ciliary muscles are found in the ciliary body. That is accommodation. Ciliary muscles. They want to trick you guys. Ciliary muscles contract. No. This because this is the pulmonary mechanism. This is not accommodation. So this is out. They are saying. I'm seeing the messages on the chat, so they are making me. All right, they're saying that radial muscles contract, but we said R with R. So radial muscles are supposed to relax, and the circular muscles are supposed to contract. And remember, guys, I told you that if they are bringing it in a explanation, you say that radial muscles of the iris relax, circular muscles of the iris contract. If you don't add the word iris, you are gone. But for them, they have a right to say anything. You understand? So this one is also out because the radial muscles don't contract. The radial muscles must relax. So the answer here becomes none. Yeah. I see. By the way, people got this. So it's none. Yes. It's none, Baba. Someone is saying, so it's none. Yes, it's none. If it was me who was writing this paper, I would have said none. By the way, the memo will come out. Yeah. By the way, there is no professional as nice as teaching. That's why some of us, we retire, we come back, we miss our kids because they make us laugh. And that's why you see, guys, teachers don't get old. No. Why? Because of your answers you give. It makes us happy. Yes, sometimes we become sad because you have not performed the way we expected you to perform. But you guys, you make our life to continue in a marvelous way. All right, let's continue, guys. The diagram below shows how the blood of the human embryo flows close to the mother's blood during pregnancy. You won't understand it unless you are pregnant. Oh, you have ever been pregnant? Yes. And guess what? Someone who has ever been pregnant can fail this question. Yet they know exactly. Okay, give the name of the structure that contains blood vessel B. Blood vessel B and blood vessel C. B, we see that B brings the blood, brings whatever it brings. And then C, we see that it takes blood away. Okay, the structure, so this, they are looking for this. So it becomes umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. They're saying that list two importance of the structure that are the substances that name two important substances that are transported by blood vessel B. Oh, wait. I need to look at this critically. I don't want to give you B. It comes from what? From the mother. It's because they say this is the mother. Wabona. So, what important substances? They are saying important substances. Basically, I would have said that oxygen, yes, and also nutrients. Yes, nutrients. So that could be the most correct answer. Then they are saying that one of the functions of part A is to bring the mother's and embryo's blood close to one another. Part A. So they're saying identify part A. I would have said this is a placenta. So what is a placenta? Yes, the placenta. They're saying that name the process by which substance move down a concentration gradient, meaning that from up to low, meaning that from a high concentration to a low concentration. If it was a low concentration to a high concentration, it's a different story. So this is called diffusion. It's a diffusion. But if it was from low to high, then it would have been active transport. But here we have diffusion. So the answer becomes diffusion. They are saying that we go to the ear. Let's go to the ear. What is this veil? That is the placenta buffet. Okay, they are saying that let's talk about the ear. Give the name of the part that of the ear that perform each of the following functions. Directs sound wave to the auditory nerve. How do we call that? How do we call that part? Remember, we said that pinna collects sound wave and it directs it into the auditory canal. So the answer becomes pinna. I used to ask them. I used to ask people, what is the pro for pinna? And then people are saying peanuts. No, it's pinna buffet. They're saying that convert sound stimulus into enough impulse. Which part converts the sound stimulus into enough impulse? So it's found here in the cochlea, so which we call the organ of Corti. Yes, so those are the sensory cells. Yes, they're saying which part. Hey, so if they're saying which part, I think cochlea. But cochlea contains the organ of Corti. They might give you, both of you, if you say cochlea or organ of Corti, whatever. Yes, but that is it. They're saying that transmit the vibration from the tympanic membrane or tympanum, yes, to oval window. From the tympanum, from here to oval window. So this is the one, which is the oscos. Yes. Any other alternative, they will tell you. But that is oscos. Transmit vibration from, okay, we are done with that. Then they are saying that a middle ear infection can result in the production of excess fluid, okay? If part W becomes blocked, which one is part W? Okay, a station tube. The fluid cannot drain naturally and build up fluid, causing an increase in the pressure in the middle ear, which might interfere with hearing. What is W? We said it is a station tube. Some people, they call it Eustachian tube. EU is station tube. So they're saying that give the name of the small tube that is surgically inserted in the tympanic membrane to drain excess. You know, when I was discussing this yesterday, okay, we call them grommets. So you make sure that you get grommets. It's a grommet. So they are grommets. Make sure that you get correct spelling. Yes. So that question is done. All right. So we come to the next question. What are they saying here on this question? So we need to know what are they talking about here? What are they talking about here? I see people giving me correct answers. You know, usually I ask my people to label everything they see. Okay, let's just label and then we see. So this is vitreous humor, this is choroid, this is yellow spot. I think this one is pointing here. If it's pointing here, then it becomes a blind spot. This is ciliary muscles. This is, I think it is the iris. If it is pointing there, then this is the cornea, and then this is the lens, and then if it is pointing here, this is suspensory ligaments. Okay, we have labeled everything. Give the letter and the name of the part that contains highest concentration of cones. So remember this fovea, this yellow spot, or fovea centralis, it contains the highest concentration of what? Cones. So the answer here, you're gonna say the yellow spot. Simple. Yellow spot. Others, they want to write about fovea. Why do you tell us about this fovea thing when you're able to write the word yellow spot? Very easy to what? To remember. The spelling, you can't even fail it. Go with the yellow spot. Get your mark. Is transparent layer at the front of the eye causing refraction of light. Refraction means bending. This is the transparent layer. This one. Yes. So which is the cornea. So the answer is cornea. Someone might have written lens, but they say the front. Yes. Lens does also refract, but they say the front. So meaning that the first part which refract light. Prevents reflection of light. When you say you prevent reflection of light, what are they talking about? They're talking about the choroid, which means B. And I told you that if you look at the choroid of the dogs, is much more developed compared to humans. Why? So that they're able to trap all this light which comes into their eyes. That's why they're able to, most especially actually the nocturnal organisms, their choroid is well developed. That's why for them they're able to see at night, and we can't do that. They're saying that give the letter and the part or parts that will cause the change in the shape of part H. Shape during accommodation. Remember, accommodation. They're saying part or parts. Let me first clear up this, and then I see if I'm able to get it, and able to see I'm able to get it. So basically, let me first read the question. I don't want to give you. They're saying cause the change in the shape of part H. So you can't talk about part H. You understand? So H is out. So the shape will be as a result of the suspensory ligament and the ciliary muscles. So it's gonna be I and E, or E and I, whatever. As long as you talked about I, as long as you talk about E. They're saying 1.1.1.7. The following diagram below shows the process of homeostasis in human body on the hot day to balance the internal water levels. Okay, so what are you saying now? So if it's on the hot day, so we see hot day, low intake of water. Okay, the person is active. So it means that this person is going to take a lot of what? If it's low level of water, then it means that low intake. Then it means that this person is going to urinate too much urine, which is too much concentrated, yellowish, because most of the water is being lost as sweat, as long as it is a hot day. Receptors in the hypothalamus, gland A secretes hormone B. Okay, gland A secretes hormone B. Okay, the target organ, remember this. Okay, response, water level returns to normal. Remember these they occur in the nephron, but they said organ, not structure. So it means that it's gonna become the kidney. You understand? It's gonna become the what? The kidney. And then which hormone? Which hormone is the hormone? Hormone is gonna be ADH, antidiuretic ADH, antidiuretic hormone. And then which gland is pituitary gland or hypophysis? Hypophysis. So yeah, so let's go and then find out which. Name the homeostatic process represented. What are they talking about here? They are controlling the amount of water in the body. So in turn, that's why they are talking it about here. So the answer becomes osmoregulation. Osmo, which means water. Osmoregulation. Yes, osmoregulation. They're saying that gland A, we talked about gland A, we say that is hypophysis. Hormone B, we said it is ADH. And then target organ C, we say it is the kidney. Simple. That's why I always tell you guys that when you label things here, it becomes much more easier when you are answering these questions. When you're answering this question. Bullying. I see you guys is very happy. Yeah. You know, you guys, when you are happy and seeing you getting the marks, getting the takes, hey, I'm also happy because I see that, yeah. All right. Will the urine produced on hot day be concentrated or it will be diluted? In most cases, if it is hot day, because we lose most of the urine, most of the water through sweat, so it's going to become concentrated. And number 2, remember here you say that you did not take a low intake of water. You see? Then number 3, I always tell people that if you have ever tested your sweat, you have tested your urine. So if I ask you, how does urine taste? You know it, because if it is a hot day, you sweat instead of urinating. And if it is a cold day, you urinate instead of what? Sweating. So the 85% of the content which is in the urine, it is in the sweat. Yes. So I'm asking you a question. Guys, how does your sweat taste? Does it taste sweet? If you say no, then you know how does your urine taste. Okay, we continue. Let me know in the comment section, how does your sweat taste? All right, we say these echinoderms, okay. Mammals are reproducing using internal fertilization. Okay, the adult female of Echidna usually lays eggs and lays eggs once a year. She rolls the new laid eggs into deep pockets or pouches. They're saying that her stomach to keep it. Okay, 10 days later, the baby echidna called Pungo hatches. Okay, after at birth, the Pungo does not have spine. So okay, stretching out from the skin. The Pungo lap up milk that the mother's body secretes from special glands in her pouch. It remains in the pouch until the spine begin to break through its skin, and at about 23 days, then the mother puts the Pugo into a burrow, and then where she return to feed it every 5 to 10 days until it old enough to go out on its own at about 7 months old. Okay. Let's continue. By the way, section A finished. Oh, okay. By the way, who got 50 out of 50? Okay, who got 40 out of 50? Congratulations. Even if you didn't get that, still congratulations. Okay, we see the Echidna here. What it happened? Describe. They are saying describe what is meant by internal fertilization. Describe. They want you to describe. So basically, internal fertilization is when the sperms from the male are deposited into the female reproductive organ. Into the female reproductive organ. Yes. So it's when the sperms of the male are deposited into the female reproductive organ. You understand? And then, since they said internal, you understand? Yes. So it means that basically fertilization occurs inside the female reproductive organ after the sperms have been deposited inside there. So the male will deposit these sperms inside the female reproductive organ where fertilization takes place. Yes, because they said describe, not define. I hope you get it. So it will depend on the marking guideline. Okay, they're saying that use the information above, give 2 reasons that would support the conclusion that echidnas are altricial, meaning that they are born helpless. Don't say that they are born helpless, but they want you to tell us what are some of the things which we see that the echidna are altricial. Remember, altricial organisms, eyes are closed. Yes, eyes are closed. You see that they have to feed it. Check. They have to do what? They have to feed it. So you can talk about they are born, eyes are closed. We see here that they remain in the mother's pouch for a specific period of time. What did they say? What did they say? They say that it remains in the mother's pouch, isn't it? So that it's being protected from the what? From the predators. We see that altricial development, parents bring food to the babies. Yes, even here we see that the mother will have to return to feed this kid. You understand? So all these are answers which you can look here, you read, and then you get from there. You just have to look at those points where you see that it is related to the baby is being looked after it was born. So that's what you're supposed to explain in that regard. Yes, there will be a lot of answers you might say, but they just want only 2 of them. Yes, even this, check, before it's not adult, it's not having these protective measures. Check here, they have the protective measures. You can even talk about no spines here. They are born with no spines. You understand? If it was a bird, we would have talked about no feathers, but now this one has no spines, and these spines are responsible for them to be protected. So they don't have, so they are exposed to the predators. So you can read here and then you get a lot of them. So yeah, then they're saying that different species of mammals have different strategies for embryonic development. Tablet 2, difference between embryo development, yes, between embryonic development strategies, that of vivipary and ovipary. So basically, different species have different embryonic development. Okay, so in this case, they are saying that tabulate. Did I say tabulate? Yes, tabulate. Meaning that you have to draw a table, differences between embryonic development strategy of vivipary and ovipary. So I wanted to see if this question is linked to the question above, but it's not linked to the question above. They're just asking you questions. So we see that in vivipary, what happens that embryo develops inside the female reproductive organ. Basically, that's the uterus. While the other side, we see that the embryo develop outside the female reproductive organ or the female's body. Yes. Then you can talk about that. Remember that we said that in vivipary, the baby obtains nutrients through placenta from the mother. So in this case, we can say that the embryo, yes, the embryo obtains nutrients from the mother. You see? While the other side, the embryo obtains nutrients from the egg yolk. Then you can also talk about these nutrients and gaseous exchange takes place in the placenta. So the embryo obtains these nutrients using the placenta, gaseous exchange. Gaseous exchange breathes through the placenta. You understand? While the other side, what happens? The gaseous exchange occurs through the what? The chorion. You understand? Yes. What about the waste product? You can also talk about maybe the waste product in vivipary. The waste product they pass through the umbilical cord and then go to the placenta where they are being exchanged, where being expelled into the mother's body. While here in the ovipary, we can talk about the waste products are being stored in the allantois. So you talk about they a lot. I can't exhaust all of them. They're a lot. So don't be worried that I have not talked about your answer. You have given. So at least you will be able to obtain those marks. We go the next question. This one saying 9 out of 9 out of 9. Thank you. How do you read your name? Ndiko. All right, let's look at the female reproductive structure. They are saying that the diagram below represents a part of the menstrual cycle. Okay, we see here ovary is developing. Here you have the hormonal control, and then you have the uterus. Okay. Use the diagram below. Identify part labeled A. What is A? That is the ovum. Oh, not ovum. Did I say ovum? It is the Graafian follicle. It's the Graafian follicle. Inside there is ovum here. It's the Graafian follicle. But it looks to be a mature Graafian follicle. Maybe even Graafian follicle, they will credit you. Yeah, Graafian follicle. What is B? B is corpus luteum. And then we see that ovulation is taking place here. If we look at X, it increases after day 14. So it looks to be, this hormone looks to be progesterone. Is there any other thing we must label? There's nothing. So let's go to questions and then find out. What are they saying? They're saying use the diagram, identify part A. We have identified it. So we say that A is a mature Graafian follicle or Graafian follicle. Part B, corpus luteum. According to the diagram above, which day did the ovulation take place? Let's go. But guys, don't just say day 14. According to the diagram, we see that is day 14. There is that question they brought. I think it was May, June. They said which day, and the answer was day 16, something like that. So please make sure that you quote from the graph according to the question. Give one visible reason for your give one visible reason. Why do you say that ovulation occurs on day 14? Why do you say that? So I can say that we see that there is a rupturing of the Graafian follicle. You see, the Graafian follicle ruptures. You understand? To release the what? The mature ovum. To release the mature ovum. Then, that hormone is on there. I thought that they have included the level of luteinizing hormone. If it was there, then I would have also talked about that. The level of luteinizing hormone is at its maximum or increases to its peak, meaning that it's too much high. And remember, luteinizing hormone causes ovulation to take place. So, but it's not there. So the only thing which we can talk about here is luteinizing. Sorry, did I say luteinizing hormone is rupturing of the Graafian follicle. So we go to the next question. Give one. Okay, identify X. What is X? If you look at what is X, identify hormone X. Where is hormone X? We go back and just find out. So here we see that hormone X is progesterone because increases immediately after day 14. They are saying explain the influence of hormone X on uterus between day 14 and day 24. Explain the influence of hormone X. Hormone X between day 14 and day 24. What happens here? Check. Remember that hormone X is progesterone, which we say that it maintains pregnancy. How does it maintain pregnancy? Yes, by stimulating by making the endometrium more thicker, more vascular, and more glandular. You understand? Yes. What is it for? So that fertilization or implantation can take place. So it maintains the thickening of the endometrium. How does it maintain it? How does it maintain the pregnancy? By making the endometrium more thicker. So basically the function is to make the endometrium more thicker, more vesicular, more glandular. You understand? Yes. And why do we have all this? Why should it be more thicker, more vesicular, more glandular? So that there is fertilization, there is implantation to take place. So that implantation can take place for this fertilize the ovum. And then they're saying, according to the diagram above, how long did menstruation take place? How long did the menstruation last? Menstruation starts from here to here. So basically, I would have said 4 days. 4 days. Yes. This is not yet menstruation. The endometrium starts to shrink. After shrinking, then it is gonna cause the menstruation to happen. You won't see blood before the shrinking of the endometrium. So the endometrium shrinks fast, and then after that, the blood, you see the blood coming out. All right. Then we go to question 2.4. According to diagram above, how long? Okay, we have said it. Describe the role of FSH in the menstrual cycle. Remember, FSH, the hormone that stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. So it stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. So it stimulates the development of what? Of the Graafian follicle. Why? How does it? To produce an ovum. Where? In the ovaries. You understand? So it stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. Yes, to produce an ovum in the ovaries. You understand? So you tell us, where does it take place? Graafian follicle. Yes. And sometimes we say immature Graafian follicle. Yes. Remember, I always tell you that this is immature Graafian follicle. So for it to be mature, FSH must be there. So then this one has become mature Graafian follicle. So what causes this immature Graafian follicle to become mature is because of FSH. So the FSH probably actually stimulates the development of this immature Graafian follicle to be mature, so that the ovum is being produced in the ovaries. So I think you get it. You get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. We continue. Question 2.3. Zobza. Zobza. What is that? Penis. What's that? It looks to be urethra. What's that? It looks to be scrotum. What's that? It looks to be testis. What's that? It looks to be vas deferens. And then what's that? It looks to be Cowper's gland. It looks to be Cowper's gland. Identify who sets these papers. They like to bring them here. I won't say anything. I wanted to say that maybe it's a lady who sets it. Ladies, they answer this diagram very well, and the males, they answer the other one. So you males, I don't know. All right. I wrote 28 days. Okay. All right, guys. When they say menstruation, not menstrual cycle. Yes. All right. Let's go. Identify part B. So we have seen that part B. Part B we said is urethra, and then part F we say that it is Cowper's gland. Then they're saying that give the name of the part that transports away sperms away from epididymis to accessory glands. So they are looking for this, so which is vas deferens. I told you guys, don't call them sperm duct, call them vas deferens. And they are saying is used to deposit sperms into the female during copulation. Sometimes they can say used to deposit semen into the female reproductive organ. So it is the penis, which is part A. Name two secretions from the accessory. Name two secretions from the accessory gland. I knew they're gonna bring this question. I knew it. You know why I knew it? Because they changed the function of this, and I knew this is not going to miss. They want to see that we taught you this. So name two secretions from the accessory glands and describe how each secretion can improve sperm maturity and motility. So we see that remember that the seminal vesicle, but you don't want to know that seminal vesicle produces the nutrients. These nutrients, they contain fructose, which provide energy for the sperm to move. You understand? Yes, they provide these nutrients. They make the sperm to have energy so that they're able to move. Then number two, you have prostate gland. So I'm just remembering prostate gland. But don't say prostate gland because you don't want to know which one come from. But what I can advise you that know that prostate gland produces this, seminal vesicle produces this. But when you are writing, just say that seminal vesicle, what does it produce? Produces fructose, that is nutrients. For what? So you remove the word seminal vesicle. Then you go to prostate gland. Yes, I know that produces alkaline fluid. Okay, to neutralize the acidity of the vagina. Remove the word prostate gland. You only remain that it produces alkaline fluid. Then you go to the another one, Cowper's gland produces mucus, which help in the easy movement of the sperm. So that the sperm can be slippery. If you put the face, it can hit you and then lose eyes. All right. Yes. So you know, you understand. So you're supposed to do that. By the way, guys, this is a humble request and a reminder that don't forget to stay virgin. Please don't be with the car which is a 2025 model, 2026 model with a mileage of 1990. When your marriage is 1990, even before you were born. That's bad. All right. I think that's we have killed it. We have killed it. 2.4. They're saying that in 2018, teaching hospital in India carried out a survey to determine the incidence of cancer in different parts of the female reproductive system. They carried out research by interviewing patients and studying the patient records. The results are shown in the table. Okay, all right. We see that cervical, cervix, endometrium, ovary. Okay. Oh, this is a pie chart. What is the? What is it? Did I say what is? Where? Did I skip any question? No. Someone is saying something I didn't understand. They're saying, where is the cervix located? Where is the cervix located? Where do we find the cervix? Basically, if you look at this is the vagina. It's the vagina, and then now you have your ovary. So the cervix is here. This is the endometrium, and then this is the the cervix is here. So what are they talking about? How do you describe? Basically, it's at the base of the uterus. The base, you find if this is the uterus, endometrium, so it's at the base of the uterus. And since this is the vagina, so I can say maybe it's at the top of the vagina. But now I'm asking myself, where is the top of the vagina? Is the top of the vagina here or inside? Huh? Hey, you know this is the cervix. What if I say that the top of the vagina is the vulva? So where does the vagina start? If you are coming from this side, So basically it is at the top of the vagina when you are going from outside to inside. So it means that top there up. All right. So it means that the vagina starts from here. But when you are coming from this side, the vagina starts here. So I can, so it's at the base of the uterus. So if it was me, I would maybe have said it like that. Yeah, base of the uterus. If you gave a different answer, it will depend on the memorandum. State 2 planning steps that would steps that would have been taken before the start of this survey. Basically, you have to get the permission. That one you don't need to say decide. You have to get the permission from the participants. You have to get the hospital. The moment when you're doing research, guys, when you go to the university, when you're doing research, the place where you're going to go, you have to get permission. And what they talk about the age here? No. And if you yes, permission. If the kids if the people are less than 18, you have to get the consent from the parents, you understand, to do the research on that people, on those people. But still is permission. So you have to get the permission from the hospital, you have to get permission from the participants. Then now you also have to decide which time of how long is the duration, decide which hospital to use, decide the patient's how to determine the patient's cancer, decide. Don't forget I told you that you must use the word decide. So everything you have talked about, it must contain the word decide. But permission, you can't say that. Decide to get permission. You understand? Yes. So you have to get permission. Yes. So that you're able to continue and doing the decisions when you know that you have the permission. Draw a pie chart. Yeah. Guys, I told you. Draw a pie chart. I told you. When you are doing the pie chart, make sure that you draw things properly. First of all, this is percentage. Oh, the good thing is percentage. If it is percentage, then it's cool. Since if it was not percentage, then I had to first add and do everything. Remember, in percentage, in you see that you say that 56.94 out of 100, because that's the meaning, times 360, you get the degrees. Then 22.50 divided by 100 times 360. You have to do this. And then 15.56 out of 100 times 360. You get the answer in degrees. Answer in degrees. And then after that, you get 3.33 out of 100 times 360. Then you go to 1.67 divided by 100 times 360. All of them. After that, you're supposed to draw using a protractor, using a compass. Draw a proper circle, not zigzag like this. Remember, when you have a protractor, you have a circle, a compass, there is a dot there. Draw a line touching the circumference and then start measuring. Put your protractor like this and then start measuring. The first part, you tell us. You put the protractor now like this, then you measure it like this. The second part, the third part, like that, until everything is obtained. Remember, guys, that we calculate this. I told you that. Well, how do we calculate? You said, you are a lot. They won't do. We calculate. Even we bring the plastic, and then after doing a plastic, we measure it properly, and then we just bring this plastic, we put it on top of this to check and see that if your graph is correct. So we can do it very fast, very fast. So please don't just do rough, because when you want to sleep in an exam as if you don't have a bed at home. So please, I told you, don't rush your paper because you want to sleep. Don't make examiners fools because when you want to finish in 1 hour. Even if you finish in 1 hour, we will not be surprised. We'll only be surprised with your marks. So please make sure that even if it's 1 mark, you get it. Don't just mess up. Put a caption, put a key, and then after that, because in most cases when you are marking, we mark the caption, we mark the type of graph. Have you drawn a pie chart? We mark the plottings. So have you drawn them properly? And in this case, they might give you a mark for calculations. You understand? Yeah, and then you are able to get all the marks. All right. Let me see what these people are saying in the chat. Talking about a lot of things. Some of them I don't understand them. I was laughing at myself when I was drawing a pie chart. Guys, make sure that you guys draw things properly, ne? Yes, make sure that you draw things properly. Sir, do I get penalized if I write this decided I don't understand what that. You know the comments are a lot, so I got let me say check. Do I get penalized when I get what? Oh, he's saying that, do I get penalized if I don't write decide? Yes. Lucky. Yes. We will penalize you. We will penalize you because I have been emphasizing it that you have to write the word decide. You have to decide. Yeah, if you just say things without deciding, because you are planning, how are you going to do it when you have not decided? So you have to decide first so that you are able to get the marks correct. Okay, let's go to the next question, that is 2.5. Myopia is referred to the short-sightedness and a common cause of visual disability worldwide. The World Health Organization has grouped the following condition among the leading causes of blindness and visual impairment in the world: myopia and corrected refractive error with the cataracts, macular degeneration, and infectious diseases, vitamin A deficiency. Those are some of the things maybe. According to the table, the text above named 2 leading causes of blindness and vision impairment worldwide other than the short-sightedness. Obviously, they have talked about them. This here. Do I have to write it? No. Explain why the blurry image will be formed on the retina of short-sighted person. Short-sighted person, meaning that you are able to see objects which are near, you won't be able to see objects which are far. So basically, how big is the eyeball? So it means that the lens is too thick and the eyeball like this. So for the short, because it comes as a big beam, the image is formed at the retina. But for the long, because it is too small and it cannot alter, so the image is formed just in between here. So it is formed in front of the retina. Therefore, the eyeball is too long than the normal eyeball. You understand? So meaning that, and then the lens, it fails to become. What causes that is because the lens fails to become less inelastic. So it's supposed to be elastic. So now it becomes less inelastic. You understand? Yes. So you can also talk about that the lens will reflect light too much, meaning that it's supposed to reflect light less, but now because it's thinking that is coming from the near object, it can't change into this small focal length, so the light ray will be refracted more. You understand? Leading to the light forming or the image forming in front of the what? Of the retina. So basically, the eyeball is too long, and also there is a high refraction of light, yes, by the lens, and then leading to the image forming in front of the what? Of the retina. Yeah. So that is the answer, which is supposed to be linked that way. Then we go the next question. What are they saying? Describe the type of the lens that is used to correct the short-sightedness. So we put here concave, so that it diverges this light. Let me just do like this, so that it diverges when the light, this light, short light comes, it is diverged, so that it looks to be the one which is coming from near, and then the lens will diverge, will refract light, and then it comes to the retina. So we use a diverging lens, you understand, but because it has two surfaces which diverges it, so we can call it a biconcave lens. Yes, so by diverging lens, putting on the diverging lenses, or biconcave. So I hope they will create also diverging lens, but biconcave is much more better. Then they are saying that explain how the lens in question above will correct the what, the sidedness. I've explained it, that it will cause the light to diverge before it enters the what, before it enters the eye. Yes, you understand. And then number two, basically it increases the how do they call it, we call it the field of view. Yeah, it increases the field of view, so that basically it ensures that light coverage on the retina, yes, is focused onto the yellow spot. You understand? So it diverges the light, so that by the time it reaches the lens, yes, it appears to be coming from a nearby object, so that now this light is focused onto the retina. Yes, so basically it does that to increase the field of view. No, not field of view. I'm forgetting that word, which we usually use in physical science. Yes, like you increase the beam, which the width of the beam which is coming. Remember, it was coming like this, like this, but now you have increased this field, ne? So that is big enough. By the time it reaches the lens, it's big enough, and then it is being focused onto the retina where the yellow spot is, and then the image can be formed clearly. So that's bit of physical science. Then we have here, oh, this girl is a ballet move where dance, spin, or rotate once on one foot during this dance. Head remains still. The head remains still. It means that the head remains in one position. Is there a dance like that? And the body turns. Okay, if you are turning the body, then you leave the head to be still. Then it means that, but you can change the head. The head is still. You can change the head in one axis. So meaning that if the head is still, then it means that you don't look anywhere. So the head is not changing anywhere. So the person is just facing one direction. No change in position, no change in the direction. Okay. Since they talked about the head, they talked about the body turning. So let's use the body turning and we leave the head alone. So since the body is turning, then it means that there will be a change in the direction of the what? Of the head. So how does the dancer maintains her balance throughout the this karaoke? This dancing. So basically you explain balance, change in the speed and direction of the body, yes, will stimulate the crystal found in the ampulla of the semicircular canal, and then you tell us that the stimulus is converted into a nerve impulse, which is sent along the auditory nerve to, where is this? Because this is balance. This is balance to cerebellum for interpretation, so that the balance is being restored. Yes. So this question looks to be, I won't say vague, but I won't say it. It looks to be somehow, somewhere, but I will say that if the head is still, no position, no direction, so it means that there is something which is not being said in the question properly, because at least they would have showed us that yes, the position is the same, meaning that it's moving. You are moving your body on the same axis. You understand? You are moving your body on the same axis. Obviously, the head and the body is moving. You understand? But the position remains, meaning that the position, the axis is the same, meaning that the only thing which is changing is like you are rotating. Ne? You are rotating. You are rotating. You see? You can rotate. You change the direction where you are facing, but when the head is in one axis. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera here. I would have showed you. I didn't go live with the camera, but I would have showed you that. Yes. So in this case, you explain balance, but the balance of this, it should be related to speed and direction. However, maybe after the memo discussion, they might also add the cristae and they might also add the maculae. You understand? So we continue to the next question. Oh, question number 3. When we look at it, we see that this is what is this? Where is the you see the finger? This is a sensory neuron. Because of this, and then this is the connector, this is the gray matter, this is the ventral root, it's the same point here, and then this is the motor neuron, and then these are muscles. Okay, what are they saying here? What are they saying here? They're saying that which part of the nervous system does the spinal cord belong? It belongs to the central nervous system. Define the term synapse. Term synapse, microscopic gap or microscopic gap between one or more neuron, whereby the dendrite connects with the dendrite connects with the what? The axon. You understand? One axon of one neuron connects with the dendrite of the another neuron. So basically is a junction between two or more neuron, whereby the dendrite of one neuron connects with the axon of another neuron, or the axon of one neuron connects with the dendrite of another neuron. Yes. And then they're saying that give the name and the type of neurons where the gray matter is found here. They're talking about this, so it is the interneuron. Then they're saying that dorsal root, this is the ventral root, and then this is the dorsal root. So the dorsal root, so they are talking about the sensory neuron. Sensory neuron. Let me go back to my color. Then they are saying that describe the difference between a reflex arc and a reflex action. Remember, we said that a reflex arc is a path traveled by the impulse during the reflex action, or in response to the stimulus during the reflex action, while the reflex action is a rapid automatic or a quick automatic response to stimulus. Remember, automatic is the same as involuntary. So rapid, quick, automatic or involuntary, yes, response to the stimulus. Yeah, so that's it. And then they're saying that write the letters of part A, D, G in the correct order and indicate the direction of the what? Let me first clear it up, and then I see exactly what they are talking about. Here they're saying that which letter is it? You see, we start with what? We start with the sensory neuron, so it's gonna be G. Then we go to connector neuron, is gonna be A, and then we go to D. God. So that is it. And then they are saying that describe the flow. So we are done with that. Draw the new. Did you fail this? Whoever failed this, you can't do that, man. They're saying that draw. Whenever you draw, you put a caption. And then remember, when you're drawing, when you are marking about such diagrams, we're going to look at the caption. Did you put the caption? Did you draw the correct diagram? Yes, you give you a mark. And then have you given at least 2 to 3 labels correct? Yeah, that's it. Simple thing. And then you get marks. These marks are for mahala. For mahala. So don't forget that you're supposed to draw it properly. I don't want to draw it here, because my using a what, a pen on the screen. You must draw something nice, man. And then you put your marine sheath. That's other people, they call it marine what? And then you label, guys. You must label. You must label everything. You must label everything. And then you put your nucleus there. And then you put your cytoplasm, you label. Then you tell us that this is a diagram showing the sensory neuron. Simple. And then you label it, the axon, the cell body, the dendrite, the marine sheath. Yeah, that's it. Alright, guys, you can't disappoint me here. They're saying that. So we are done with that, We are done with that. They're saying that the study was conducted to investigate the effect of environmental temperature on human core body temperature. The researchers exposed 26 male participants between the age of this and then to varying environmental temperatures, and then while monitoring their core body temperature and average every 15 minutes for an hour, each environmental temperature, and the table below represents the average collected after conducting an investigation for 3 times. Name the process that is being shown in the process by which humans maintain their internal constant body temperature. We call it thermoregulation. So that one is simple and we know about it. Then they're saying that identify the following in the investigation. They're saying that, I always tell you that we say ID. If you see that it doesn't work out, which means independent, this is dependent. So if it doesn't work out, you go back. You must compare these two with the aim, because the aim is to investigate the effect of temperature on human core body temperature. But now here they had to bring about the average. So it means that it would have, I would have said that identify the following investigation. In the investigation, independent variable. So independent variable is going to be environmental temperature. And then dependent variable, I will say that the average core body temperature. Yes. You understand? And can also be obtained here. So it will depend. Then they're saying that explain the importance of conducting investigation on males participants only. Why only males participants? Yes. So basically here we are doing it. They did that so that they ensure that there is valid results. So to ensure that validity is ensured. You understand? And then this, why do we only do the male who are basically participating? To know that the difference which has been brought here is because of the temperatures which has been exposed to them. You understand? Yes. So basically is to compare these results. Is to compare the result. So it looks to be like is to know that the effect which is being caused by this is as a result of the environmental temperature which has been exposed. So basically it looks to be it's like a control experiment for this. You understand? Yes, that the effect which has been shown here is as a result of the environmental these temperatures which have been exposed to, not any other like hormones and stuff. Yes, we know that other individuals might have different these hormonal activities. Okay, describe 2 ways in which the researcher would have ensured reliability. Yes, how? Definitely would describe 2 ways in which the researcher ensured. So in this case, they are looking for how did the researcher ensured this reliability. So if the researcher is talking about ensuring reliability, then it means that what did they do? What did they do? So that you see that they used 26 males. You see, they used what? 26 males. Meaning that large sample size of 26 males or participants were used. And then we can also see that they repeated the investigation 3 times. They conducted the investigation 3 times, which means that at least the average was obtained. They repeated the investigation 3 times. They collected different temperatures in each investigation, and an average was calculated. Don't just say that average was calculated. Average of what? They collected different temperatures for each experiment, and an average, yes, was obtained for the corresponding one. Meaning that they did this thing for each temperature. They put 3 trials, and the results they obtained in terms of temperature was put into an average. Yes. And then they are saying that describe 2 ways in which the researcher, okay, we are done with that. Describe 2 ways in which the human body can maintain a constant body temperature regardless of increased environmental temperatures. Describe a way in which human body can maintain a constant body temperature regardless of increased environmental temperature, meaning that you're going to have to sweat more. Yes, increase the sweating you have and then you're going to talk about the blood vessels. You're going to see them on your skin, so it's going to become the blood vessels are going to dilate, so that more blood will flow near the skin and the more heat is being lost. Yeah. Then we go to question 3.3. Question 3.3. What are they talking about on question 3.3? They are saying that diabetes is a chronic disease where the body either cannot produce insulin, the type of diabetes, or cannot use insulin effectively. They are saying diabetes type 2. Managing diabetes often requires frequent monitoring of blood glucose level in there to avoid complications such as nerve damage, kidney failure, or vision loss. Traditional blood glucose monitoring involve the finger pricking test, which can be painful and inconvenient. New technologies such as continuous glucose monitor have been developed to address this. Instead of regular finger pricks, which occurs once or twice a day, CGM uses small sensor inserted in just under the skin, usually on the back of the upper arm. The sensor measures the glucose level in the tissue fluid, okay, every minute, and transmits the data wirelessly to the smartphone or reader. According to the text, according to the text. So, according to the text, they're saying that list 2 possible complications of diabetes. So they're asking you the 2. We see that here they say that it leads to the nerve damage. Yes, it leads to the nerve damage because they talked about it here. And then the kidney, there is kidney failure, and also vision loss. So it's just get answer there and then put it there in the book, in the paper. A type 1 diabetes patient with CGM receives an alert from her smartphone indicating that her blood glucose level is outside of a normal limit. How is it more or high? In response to the alert, she immediately injected herself with required dose of insulin, meaning that it was too much. Okay, they're saying that describe. They're saying that state whether the smartphone alert wants her blood glucose level is too high or too low. Is too high because she injected herself with insulin. You see, she injected herself with insulin. So remember, insulin stimulates the liver to convert liver and the muscles to convert glucose into glycogen. So it means that it was too much. They're saying that describe the role of injected insulin in regulating the blood glucose. So insulin will stimulate the liver to convert excess glucose into glycogen for basically storage. And then once it's stimulated, then also it can also stimulate the muscles to absorb more glucose so that there is respiration. You understand? So, and then this will lead to the decrease in the level of glucose in the blood. You must know that whenever you say there is high, the last point must be there is be low of or decrease in the level of glucose in the blood. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, right? Travel through reflex arc. I'm seeing your comments here, and some of them they make me laugh. Okay, we got the next question, 3.4. What are they saying in 3.4? They're saying that diagram below shows the gland in the human endocrine system. The gland secrete hormones, aldosterone and adrenaline. Give the definition of the word hormone. Hormone is a chemical messenger. Basically, they are chemical messengers which are secreted into the bloodstream. You understand? To regulate basically the activities of the body. So they are just chemical messengers which are secreted into the bloodstream. Yes. So basically they bring about the normal functioning of the body. It brings about the activities. So it depends on how you have defined them, but it must say that chemical messengers, and these chemical messengers are being released into the bloodstream. Yes. Okay. Identify Z. What is Z? Where is Z? Oh, the gland on top of the kidney. We call them adrenal glands. So gland, they're saying that gland Z increases the secretion of adrenaline during the fight or flight response. Okay, adrenaline. Okay, they have increased adrenaline. So if they increase the adrenaline, okay, name the part of autonomic nervous system that is stimulated by increase in adrenaline. That is sympathetic nervous system. Remember, that is for danger. Describe the effect that increases the secretion of adrenaline will have on the digestion of the food in the stomach. Basically, remember that when adrenaline is released in the blood, and then this blood will the blood going to the digestive system will be limited. So the blood vessels supplying blood to the digestive system will constrict. You understand? So it means that less blood will flow to the digestive system. You understand? Yes, and then now more is gonna be sent to other parts of the body. But here they are talking about, they're saying that describe the effect that an increase in the secretion of adrenaline, yes, will have on the digestion of food in the stomach. So we are saying that it will lead to the decrease the flow of blood to the digestive system or the stomach. You understand? So meaning that which will result in the decrease the digestion rate. Meaning that the food which is going to be digested is going to be less. Because during emergency, we don't need digestion. For what? We don't need blood, too much blood in the stomach. For what? Because the stomach is not used to defend you. It's the muscles, it's the brain, it's the you understand? So these things, they require a lot of food, a lot of energy, a lot of oxygen. So the blood is transferred from, most of it is transferred from the stomach to other parts of the body, which are like the muscles, the brain, so that you are able to see critically, think, and then you fight. But doesn't mean that the blood will stop. No, it constricts. It leads to the constriction of the blood vessels supplying blood to the digestive system, meaning that the digestion is going to reduce. And how does it reduce? This adrenaline, in actual sense, in science, we see that adrenaline is going to stop, is going to limit the production of digestive enzymes. If the enzymes are not there, definitely digestion is not going to take place. You understand? Yes. So that is the concept behind that. They're saying that normal aldosterone level is 7. Okay. The person who developed the tumor in Z experiences hyperthyroidism over secretion of aldosterone. Okay. Aldosteronism. Okay. Okay. Who is this now disturbing me? Is confirmed with the blood test that show aldosterone level at 300 at 30 30. All right, calculate the percentage increase. This one is simple, guys. Remember, percentage increase is equal to final minus initial over initial times 100. So which gives me final, which is study is 30, minus initial, which is 7, over initial, which is 7 times 100. So which gives me around 328.6. Remember, guys, I told you percent. Remember, guys, I told you when I was explaining that the percentage increase can be even more than 100. How many times? I gave you an example of from 2 to 8. And I said that 8 minus 2 divided by 2. You'll see that the answer is going to be here. It's going to be 6 divided by 2 times 100. You'll see that it goes up to 300 times. So it is simple, it's easy, it's there. I told that is there. Yes, it can go more than 100. Yes. Question number 5. Question number 5. An interview was carried out in where the germinating seeds young one root, germinating bean seeds young root and stem were injected with oxygens in the dark and negative gravity free gravity free. Gravity free. Oh wow. Meaning that they're gonna remain the way they are. Meaning that there is no gravity. Hibo. I like this question. And abroad in intention space. Okay, cool. The tip of the young root stem were cut off and the high concentration of oxygen was injected. Okay, as shown in diagram below. Okay, for the case of the stem, we have this. For the case of the root, we have this. But guys, now you need to know the concept behind here. That in the stem, high concentration will stimulate growth. So it means that this root, this lower part is going to grow faster than the upper part. So it means that the root is going to grow like this. While this one, remember in the root, high concentration inhibits, meaning that this part is going to be inhibited, and this one, the lower one, is going to grow fast. The root is going to grow up. Wow. So basically, the diagram is supposed to show the bean, and then you have it going up, and then this one is going also up, of which this is a root and this is a stem. So both of them are going up, but I don't know whether this was cut because it's not pointed. Why should I point it? It's not pointed, so I should not put the point there. And then here, I don't know whether they will mark that one. It's not also pointed, so it means that it's gonna remain the way it is, like that. Yeah, so it's gonna be growing up, and also this one is gonna be growing up. Wow, it's from the space. Yeah. This question is so nice, ne? It's so nice. Haibo, the root is also growing. Yeah, according to the question, guys, can you see? According to the question, because they said here there is no gravity. They talked about it here. Where did I see? It's gravity free, meaning that these oxygens will not go down. They said it's gravity free. So because of the gravity free, then it means that the oxygens will not go down, therefore the root will go up. And also even the stem will go up. So it means that where the concentration of oxygens, where they are, it will remain the way they are. I drew one going up and one going down, sorry. But at least you tried. Maybe they might give you a mark. Ne? Yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna mark it, but maybe they might give you a what? They might give you a mark. Did you put the labels? Make sure that you put the labels. I told you that whenever you draw something, put labels. The labels here is the root, is the shoot, and then you put the caption and then draw it properly. Then you will still get some marks there. How many marks are there? Where is the question? Yes. Okay. Wait. Okay, we are analyzing. Did they ask you to draw? I don't know. We are just analyzing. What is tropism? So we know that tropism is a response, is the directional growth or response to of a stem or a root to external stimulus. Is basically a plant growth response, yes, of a root or a shoot to a stimulus. It depends on which stimulus is it. Explain the significance of cutting the tip of the shoot and the stem in this investigation. The reason why they cut the tip of the root or shoot, so it means that the answers were there, is because they wanted to remove the oxygens, to remove the effect of those oxygens which was there. You understand? Yes. And then they're saying that after injecting oxygen, as shown in the diagram, the seedling was left to grow for 10 days. Okay, redraw. So I've redraw it for you. Make sure that you draw it properly. And then another question. What are they saying here? Give the name of the hormone that causes the germination of bean seeds. We remember that this hormone must be working in summer, whereby germination is happening too much. So we said it is the gibberellins. Yeah, that was the paper. By comparison, Gauteng paper was much more difficult compared to other provinces. Other provinces, tell us, how was yours versus this? Gauteng paper was much more difficult. According to what I see, because we did most of these papers, and then the question required too much of also thinking, according to this. But I also saw it was paper 2, I think, Eastern Cape. It was it paper 2? Yeah, I think it was paper 2, where they put a lot of things. Okay, we shall see when paper 2 comes. But I think, guys, thank you so much. You can't say this when you got 5 out of 150. Aibo, you can do better in paper 2. Yeah, let's do better in paper 2. Our discussion is gonna be there tomorrow and on Sunday, so that we see that at least you guys on Saturday and Sunday, and so that we see that you guys were able to perform better in paper 2. You understand? It has been MSID. If you have any question, any query on what, sometimes when I'm explaining these things, I'm rushing. Sometimes I end up not talking about some things. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning to our channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. It has been a wonderful sipesihle mantla Mbata. Oh, specific Mbata. I see you always a supporter for our channel. I wish I could send you something from Thunder. Yeah. If you can contact, I don't know if you are near here, maybe we can see how we can send you. But we appreciate, guys, a lot of things from you. Thank you so much. See you again in the next clip. That is preparation for paper 2 and discussion of paper 2 memo. Thank you so much. See you again. Msaidi as usual. Oh, someone got 138. Who got 150 out of 122 spaces? Hey, guys, this mark can also be more than that, because there are some things. Someone got 134. Thank you so much, guys. Ne? Thank you so much. Ne? Thank you really so much. At least we see that something is happening. We're gonna have more doctors and more what? And more